more of Business Insanity Talk Radio with Barry Moltz.
Sometimes things go bad in your business and you feel lousy about it. But here's the problem. When you feel bad, so does your team. And as a leader, how do you feel good even when things are going bad? Here to help is Dr. Asoka Jinadasa. He's got a new book out. It's called Flying Penguin, How to Create Miracles in Your Life Using the 6 Dimensions of Success. What's the first step in feeling good, even if business is going bad?
Well, the worst thing you can do when business goes bad is to feel bad, because that's the time when you need all your energy in order to find out what went wrong and to fix it. It's a bit like, say, if you are playing tennis and you win every game, your game is not going to improve. But if you lose a few games and you change your point of view, rather than thinking, oh my God, I lost these games, if you think, wow, I now have an opportunity to improve my game, then your energy changes immediately. So when you change your point of view, your emotions get changed immediately.
So I love that idea because I think it's very important. We always can't change people's minds, but we can change their point of view. How do you change your point of view if you're stuck in this, well, things are going bad, I was a failure?
Well, it's actually connected with the way you look at things. If you want to win the game of life, you can't have weak shots in your game of life. If you want to win this game of business, you can't have weak shots in the game of business. So whenever something goes wrong, you should say, wow, fantastic. Now I can find out what went wrong and I can fix it. So just by changing your point of view, your mindset changes. So you got to also breathe deep and energize yourself, and the two together enables you to find the energy and the motivation to overcome any difficulty.
So, Dr. Asoka, talk about your 6-dimensional model for success and leadership and how it actually produces leaders.
In 1992, I read a book by Edward de Bono. This book was called The Art and Science of Success. And he wanted to put a handle on success, and he spoke to the most successful 50 people at that time in different areas. And his conclusions were very surprising. He said, to be successful, you have to be lucky, a little mad, very talented, and be in a rapid growth field. Well, that didn't help me very much. Because being an engineer, well, I was very happy about the little mad bit.
The little madness. There's always that little madness in there.
I thought that I had enough. So then, this didn't work for me. So over the years, I tried to look at successful people and organizations and identify what were the common characteristics that they all had. And that's how I came up with the 6-dimensional model. So heart is your emotional intelligence, your ability to be understanding and caring, connect with people you work with. Then mind is your concrete, abstract, and spiritual intelligence. Your ability to solve any problem of any complexity. Passion is the fire that drives ordinary people to achieve extraordinary results simply by aligning their hearts, mind, beliefs, and efforts.
All the 6 dimensions are really very holistic. Why do you think that's more important than any raw skill as far as being successful?
I think passion is the key because that's the driver. If you have passion, then you are driven by this passion. And if you identify weaknesses in any of the 6 dimensions, you'll be motivated to fix them.
Yes, and I think that passion is really important because that's really the key, I believe, in really producing employee engagement. And if you have employee engagement, you'll have a much more profitable company, don't you think?
Absolutely. In fact, the Tower Watson 2012 Global Workforce Study proved this without a doubt. They found that individual energy and workplace energy leads to what they call sustainable employee engagement, as a result of which the annual operating margins went up to 27%.
Amazing.
Purely based on individual and workplace energy.
And so when you say energy,
Amazing.
What does that really mean? What form does that take? Because it's a little bit woo-woo for most of us.
Well, energy, you have mental energy and physical energy. So if you jump out of bed in the morning feeling, you're filled with energy and your mind is ready for battle, then you have physical energy and mental energy. I think the two are vitally important in order to overcome obstacles and take yourself individually and also as an organization to the highest level of success.
Right. And I think most of us get that some mornings we'll wake up and we'll say, well, I got to drag myself out of bed. I always have the physical energy to do it, but not the emotional energy. If some of those days where I feel like, well, I just don't feel like engaging at work, how can I change my point of view on that? Because that's really the key.
First thing to do is to look after your health. And my rule is very simple. Don't eat or drink anything from a bottle or a can. If you keep away from processed food and you go back to the primitive food that, people enjoyed years ago, there was no health problems. So one of the biggest problems that we have is that we eat a lot of this processed stuff. And that diminishes our physical energy, which directly diminishes our mental energy.
And one of the things that you mentioned in the book, Dr. Asoka, is that in order to boost business performance, you really have to empower the front lines that can govern the bottom line. What do you mean by that?
Well, bottom lines are made of the front lines in any business. And what happens is, if you look at service delivery in any organization, that happens without managerial supervision. So this whole concept of empowering the higher levels of staff, teaching them leadership development doesn't work because they're not the ones who deliver service. So the frontliners are the ones that you have to empower, engage, and that they are the ones who will take the brand. They are the ones who deliver a superior brand experience.
And I think the key is, how do you actually empower them? Because I think a lot of small business owners pay lip service to that fact. What's really the first few steps in order to actually achieve empowerment?
Well, that's in my book, The Flying Penguin. I've spent 40 years trying to answer this question, Barry. And I've picked up different things. Some are Oriental energy techniques. Very simple things like diaphragm breathing, which increases your breathing efficiency from 33% to 100%. Very simple things like that. And what you try to do, you were born with limitless power as a child. That's why you could use a smartphone long before you learned how to read. So this amazing human potential is sleeping inside you. All we need to do is to unleash that.
So why use the metaphor of the flying penguin? Because most of us know that penguins don't really fly.
That's a great question. They normally waddle along, except when they are in the water, and if there's a predator, leopard seal, lurking under the ice, they shoot out of the water 5 or 6 feet and land on the ice at a higher level. Human beings were very similar. We do miracles in our life under life-threatening circumstances. Like, for example, you hear of a mother who has lifted an incredible heavy weight to rescue a child trapped under it. So I wanted to find out, can we do it all the time? So that's why I used that metaphor of flying penguin.
And so if we could do it all the time, where do you think the key is to, I guess, consistently doing it most of the time?
Well, it's a little bit like this. If you think you have the power and you act the power, then you become the power. This is a very interesting thing. For example, older people, the moment they start thinking they are young, acting young, they become young. So I think the first step is to realize that we are eagles, not penguins. And we think we are penguins because of limiting experiences in our childhood. So the moment you realize you are an eagle, then you know you have wings. And then you become motivated to discover the wings and to spread them and to fly.
Dr. Asoka, thanks for the wonderful advice.